Chain is a celebration of like Americana cuisine. So we riff off of like a bunch of chain restaurants and really celebrate their food and nostalgic aspect to it, and the love that we all have for chain food. And we do like eventized dining and partner with big brands and celebrate. And we're actually going to be throwing a festival here in December, early December.
Oh.
And this is Mr. Paul Feig. Oh, there it goes. Now it's working. Paul Feig, who is, of course, a celebrated writer and director, but today will be our celebrated cocktail maker.
There you go. Exactly.
Mixologist.
Yes.
Paul, what's the secret, you think, to pairing fast food and alcohol?
The great thing is that fast food goes with any alcohol because you'll eventually get to fast food if you're drinking. So
there you go. It's like we're on an episode of Frasier.
And if I may, while you start up, I'm going to make us a drink.
Great.
All right.
Oh, so also before we start, we have gifts for all of you to eat. We have food for all of you. I believe this is the audience food, right? Someone tell me. This has my name on it. I believe this is for behind us. Okay.
What's behind you?
Sorry, we have food for all of you behind us. So as we eat the fast food, you can eat the fast food with us.
And I'm going to be making martinis for us up
here. So we have Munchkins and we have Pizza Hut for you.
Perfect.
So this is going to be a very in-depth analysis of the taste of fast food, but also since the strikes are over, if anyone at any point wants to raise their hand and ask us questions about our careers, we can technically also do that, I guess.
We are allowed.
All right, so let's go through what we're eating here. Panda Express. What are we eating from Panda Express? What is this? Do you know?
Oh.
Do we have a list of the foods we're eating?
It's more of a quiz.
Do you have an itemized list? Because I want to analyze the flavors.
I think I can guess.
What do you all think this is? This is Panda Express. It's an egg roll, yeah, but I'm sure there's a fun name for it, right? That's why I'm like.
Roll de la egg.
Let's see.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. Egg rolls, great. Yep, that's what I thought.
Creativity is back in Hollywood. The writer's strike is over.
If we take a bite of this egg roll, Tim, I would love your thoughts on the similarities and differences between this Panda Express egg roll and your typical traditionally made egg roll.
Okay. Do we have a sauce?
Probably. Sweet. Oh yeah, here we go.
You got some Sonic dipping sauce.
Sweet and sour sauce.
Perfect.
Okay. Do you know the history of egg rolls at all?
No.
Okay.
No.
Someone wants to Wikipedia the history of egg rolls. I feel like we could maybe incorporate that. It's so quiet.
I can tell you what I'm doing up here if you want to
What
cover
are you
your
doing up
eating.
here?
I'm making a martini. I like a very, very dry martini. This is my gin. I make my own gin. So there you go. Thank you. Artingstall's Brilliant London Dry Gin, available all over the town. What I've done, you might have seen me pouring ice into the water and ice in here. You need to make the glasses really cold. Don't put a cold drink into a hot glass. So we're cooling that down. I put just literally a few drops of vermouth because I like a very, very dry martini. And now I don't need a jigger. I just do a 3 count. I say every number is an ounce. So we're gonna do 3 ounce martinis for all of us. That's 9 ounces. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There you go.
Wow.
I don't know what the rest of you are having. I will enjoy this.
This is very good. What are the differences between this and like an egg roll you would find at any other
Fast food?
No. Like you go to, let's say you go to the San Gabriel Valley.
Yeah.
You get egg rolls. What's the difference between this and like San Gabriel Valley egg roll?
Well, I think this is kind of like a New York style fried.
Well.
Right, on the outside. You have the noodles in there. You have a decent amount of the white pepper, which I think is pretty quintessential in an egg roll. And the filling has got like chicken or something? I don't even know.
Who knows?
Yeah. I will say it's good.
Something delicious.
And the sweet and sour sauce is key.
Okay. Yeah. Why? I agree. What does the sweet and sour sauce do to the flavor profile to change it? I'm Padma Lakshmi right now.
It creates that balance, right? Like you have like very savory, very savory kind of like umami coming out, and then you have this like sweet and sour that sort of balances it. I think of like steak and red wine, right? You have your steak, it's rich, it's fatty. Then you have red wine, you drink it, it has the acid to kind of balance it. So to me, the sweet and sour, if I just had to eat the egg roll by itself the whole time, I'd be like, I need something else to like make me want that other bite, and that sweet and sour sort of balances that.
That makes sense.
Are you a sauce person or no?
I am a sauce person.
Oh, that
I
sauce.
like sauces a lot. What else should we talk about? What is catching your eye? What's intriguing you right here? Let's talk about Pizza Hut, because you're eating Pizza Hut, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious if you think ranch belongs on pizza or not.
I never do it, but I'm not opposed to it. I'm not one of these people. I don't understand. People get very angry when you say pineapple on pizza. People treat it like it's like a political argument. They're like, "How dare you? Fuck you!" And it's like, calm down. Let people eat whatever pizza they want to eat. Like, I love pineapple on pizza, so I think ranch is fine on pizza. Do we have ranch here?
Yeah,
we do.
that's the ranch.
Let's do some ranch.
There is a ranch obsession, though. I know there's a certain part of the public that goes crazy for it. I've seen these videos where somebody takes a piece of pizza and there's a tub and they just dip the whole thing in, which makes me want to throw up. But how many people here are like heavy duty into ranch? Okay, there's a few out there. I know. I don't quite get it, but God bless you.
Who out there thinks like they be like, oh, the pizza I eat is gonna make people angry? Does anyone out there like controversial stuff on their pizza? Everyone's fine. No one's like, I like chocolate. Fuck you. Okay. All right, let's bite into this.
I think everybody pizza should have ranch.
Actually,
this kind of pizza.
This is fantastic with ranch.
See, this kind of pizza needs ranch.
No, this kind of pizza needs a martini. Hey,
oh!
everybody. It's your boozy Uncle Paul. There you go.
Thank you.
Fun fact about me, right after this, I am going to a Bluey pop-up exhibit because I have a 3.5-year-old, so I am going to be hammered around a bunch
Cheers,
of
everybody.
free-for-alls.
Cheers. Cheers, gang. Cheers
To
to all of
Bluey.
you. Here, here.
Oh my God! I mean, how do you choose? Honestly,
That's very good.
Thank
I
you.
mean,
Tim, do you like my gin?
I do love
does
it.
anyone
Thank you.
here care about Bluey or have kids? Yes. Okay. You do have kids, or you just care about Bluey? I mean, boy, Bluey. By the way, if you haven't watched Bluey, it is actually a legitimately wonderful show. Oh boy, I mean that grandma episode and that grandma in the handstand episode, that is just grandma's pretty great.
Ranch?
You know,
No.
obviously Dad is gonna be great. They're all great. Honestly, I can't choose.
You know when you're about to sit on your chair and you see
Yes.
this? It's rather upsetting. I thought it came out of me. I'm going to put these back in.
So this is okay. Here's what I'll say: the ranch dressing is elevating this pizza. I'm already drunk. This ranch is elevating this Pizza Hut already. Why? It's elevating the flavor of this Pizza Hut so much. Why do you think?
Well,
It's like a game changer.
yes. I mean, this is like sort of like what I would consider like American pizza. Ranch is very American. I think the two pair well together because you have like this sort of spicy, cheesy, bready, kind of doughy. You know, especially the stuffed crust right there.
Right.
The mozzarella on the inside. And then the ranch is just like sort of that like creamy sort of element.
Wow.
Now,
more food. Wow.
Now, what we don't have is my favorite ingredient put on pizza, which is hot pepper flakes.
Oh yes.
We don't. I'm sorry.
Or sometimes in an Italian restaurant, the hot pepper oil.
That's right. Well, at Chain, we have our own ranch, and we actually have pizza ranch. So it's got the flavorings of pizza in the ranch. We also have everything pizza, kind of a shaker with
Really?
everything pizza in it. Yeah, so it's got like all the toppings that you would put on, like the oregano, the Parmesan, the
Nice.
chili flake,
Oof.
all of those things that kind of really like uplift the experience.
If I was a cowboy, I'd want to work on the pizza ranch.
Yes.
This is great. Did you all get stuffed crust or regular crust? I'm sorry.
Oh, is this stuff?
Regular.
Is this stuff?
If we have extra, I'll gladly hand a bunch of this out to you guys.
The guy just asked up here, what is each person's favorite fast food? Not fast food meaning like from McDonald's or whatever, but like pizza, hamburgers, what?
Fast food.
I'll start out and
Please.
say pizza is mine.
Pizza has to be it. Yeah. Pizza. I feel like pizza is number one. We're not saying the brand. We're not. Okay, I'd say Taco Bell has to be number one for me.
Taco Bell pizza?
The Mexican pizza is really good.
Oh, wow, I haven't had it.
But that's not what I'm talking about. I would say Taco Bell generally as like a fast food. If I'm going to go out to fast food, Taco Bell is going to be like late night. Had a couple martinis, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Drive home, stop in a drive-thru, 2 Nacho Supremes, Nacho Bel Grande.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, McDonald's is just, I was raised on a lot of McDonald's. I mean, I was raised on a lot of like TV dinners, frankly. I think a lot of 90s kids, 80s, 90s kids were. Marie Callender's chicken Alfredo, anyone? Yes.
Yeah.
And so I mean, McDonald's fries are, I still, one of my favorite things in the world. And then this is like this is very specific to SoCal, but because I had a year-long pass to Disneyland for a long time. Do you guys remember for a while across from Big Thunder Mountain, there was a stand just for McDonald's fries?
Yes.
And when they opened it, I was like, this is where I live now. This is all I need. And I would house a full order of McDonald's fries and then go on Big Thunder. And I was fine. And maybe that's why I reminisce about 2004. Because everything else about that year wasn't great.
Frozen dinner. I was raised on Stouffer's French bread pizza.
Oh, yes.
The greatest. Oh my God, the greatest. But it took like 10 hours for them to defrost for some reason. Like it was always leaving the oven for 5 days. So.
The McDonald's fries, though, have you dipped them in the soft serve with caramel?
No.
That's the bite. It's
Oh my God.
hot, salty, cold, sweet, caramely, dairy. It's a perfect bite.
Well,
It's
now
really
you're
a
making me
perfect
want what? So wait, this looks like this is the. Oh, let's see. I have a list of things we're eating. This is the milkshake. I keep thinking it's gonna be like milky supreme. No, it's just the milkshake.
Milkshake TM. Exactly.
This is the milkshake. Or do we have other? Okay, we have. Who wants a sip of milkshake?
Yeah.
Great.
Shake it up, my friend.
So this is Red Robin. Is this a California? Is this nationwide or is this just California Red Robin?
Red Robin's from Upper East Coast, right? What's it? Seattle, right?
Great.
Seattle.
Oh, really? Texas.
So it might
Texas
be
has one
nationwide.
too.
There you go. They're everywhere. Run for your life.
Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the viscosity. This milkshake is very thick. It is not automatically coming through the straw. There is a thickness to it, which tells me, oh, this is a high quality milkshake.
Yeah, I was gonna say. There's nothing worse than this thin milkshake.
Okay, actually, it's kind of thin. Like, it's there's like fruit in this or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Strawberry? Yeah, strawberry milkshake.
What kind of milkshake is it?
Might have different ones.
You want to know?
That one looks caramely.
It's like caramel, but something's in it. Does anyone have any questions so far?
I have a question. Can I have another piece of pizza?
Rachel, you were asking the origin of egg rolls.
Please.
They originated in the 1930s in New York. They were a variation of spring roll. The Chinese word for spring is similar to the sound of the word for egg, and most importantly, they contain no egg.
Is this all from memory, or did you?
No, Wikipedia.
Okay.
But I said authoritatively, didn't I?
I should say thank you, Richard Kraft. Very wonderful music agent, also father of Nick Kraft, who is the co-owner of Chain. Great. So if you have any questions, you can go up about music or Chain. You can
Dip the fries in the milkshake. You got some
Oh, there
dip
we
the
go.
fries
Oh,
in
that's
the
a good one.
milkshake. Yeah.
Tim, you were pushing this, so I want to see it happen.
Is there anything anyone wants to get off their chest about like their lives? Like anyone have any relationship issues that we can all help solve as a group?
Well, I would like to just say that Rachel has an amazing one-woman show
Thank
that's
you.
coming back called Death Let Me Do My Show that is so fantastic and so smart and so funny and so touching. It's just great. So if you get a chance, it's coming back. Where's it going to be?
So it'll be in New York, off Broadway, in all of December and a little early January, and then I'll probably bring it to LA at some point.
Very cool.
Yeah. Oh, the fries and the milkshake, very good.
See?
Look at that.
I'll talk about something that's been going on in my life because maybe someone has a suggestion. I can't. If I take my 3-year-old to like classes, like I tried to take her to my gym, if I'm in the class, she just wants to sit on my lap. Has anyone been through this with toddlers? Okay, great. Call it separation anxiety. But if I'm not there, it's fine.
Does she have a girlfriend that can go with her?
I could send her with someone else. That's not a bad idea.
There you go.
I could send her. I'd like not with another kid. It would have to be like another adult to go with her. Oh, like a little kid friend to go with her.
Yeah, please.
It's actually a good idea. Thank you.
There you go.
Great.
40 years in elementary school.
There you go. Well done.
A lot of questions about schools for you. What do you think of Los Angeles? And then we'll get back to fast food. I'm so curious though. What do you think of Los Angeles public versus private schools, magnet versus charter? What is your opinion? I'm curious.
Well, it's apples and oranges, really. I mean, the public schools do the best they can with what they have, but imagine coaching a team, and one team is the public team, and you get who walks in the door, and they have to play, even if they don't practice, even if they don't come with their equipment, they have to play. The private team, they pick and choose who they use, and if they don't practice, they're out. If they don't bring their equipment, they're out. So it's really apples and oranges.
interesting.
I mean, it's
I think it's a little bit more than that too, because when you look at the charter school movement, what it
Oh, please. I listen. Let's discuss schools right
boy.
now. This is great.
I think it's a little bit. To add to what this gentleman said. Charter schools sometimes what they do is pull away resources from public schools, and inadvertently, or maybe on purpose, I don't know of a different way of saying it, may also create. Thank you. Thank you. Create segregation within communities. So I'm disclaimer. I'm a public school teacher with LAUSD as well, and we're union. We're strong with the union, so we were very supportive of what the writers and the actors were doing, and I think we really need to look at what's going on politically in the country, as well as what's going on locally, because public education is meant to give everybody a chance to be educated, whereas if we allow that to be eroded, I really worry about who is going to be educated in this country. We did something good hundreds of years ago, and I think if we're not careful, it could cost us as a society down the road. Not to be dramatic.
I have a question
but,
over there.
Yeah.
You know.
I love two childless men, and I'm just like.
I'll just say, I don't have kids, so I'm going to make another drink.
I have 4 kids.
Never mind.
I have
You
4
fully
kids.
have 4 kids.
I have 4 kids. 2 of which are in public
Betty
school.
knows about it.
1 is in a private, like
Oh.
preschool,
Oh, interesting. Well,
and 1 is 1 and a half.
that's how much I know.
I don't have a question, but I'm a teacher also.
Please.
But I want to share a few things. First, I have taught in charter, private, and public. I have educated my child in charter, public, and a private daycare. Ultimately, you're going to have to go in there and figure out what is the best environment for your baby. We can certainly argue, and everybody has extremely valid situations. I wasn't in the strike because I'm not a union teacher, but I sympathize with that. And I get all of the theories that are out there, public education, industrial revolution, educated society. None of it is at issue. But ultimately, I started my child in charter because I came along at a time, and I was teaching in public, but I thought charter was going to be better. So then I took him out of charter because there was a public school that was feeding into another public school that I thought I wanted. I let my child languish there from 6th to 10th grade in a LAUSD, well-reputed, extremely awesome magnet public, but it wasn't for him. And when I ended up taking him out and putting him in an arts, charter, magnet, kind of different situation, he thrived, even though he had to graduate in the fucking pandemic. He graduated in 2020.
Oh my God.
But ultimately, my hardest lesson, without crying in front of everybody, was that you have to place your child where your child needs to be based on who your child is. Because that wonderful public school that I will not name here, as much as I'd like to blast them, like they were, like I did all the things that I was supposed to do. We went for the SST, which means that he's not doing well, so we need help. But depending on whether that school cares about, and I'm not trying to take it to race, but I mean, when I say your child, whether we're talking about race, culture, what they love, what they're passionate about, If they are not an environment for your child to win at who your child is, it's just not the environment for you, charter, private, or public. And I've taught at them all. And I'm currently at a charter school as a RSP, means resource specialist teacher, teaching kids who have higher needs. But ultimately, go in there, walk around, meet the teachers, meet the principal, look at the resources. It's about your baby, ultimately. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good advice. Good advice.
That was wonderful. What food would be a good follow-up to education?
We already have pizza. We have to
already
have a taco.
Let's
Jack
have
in
a
the Box
taco. And so you have 4 kids. I apologize, I didn't know that.
No worries.
I hear New York has a good education system. Speaking of New York, I'm making Manhattans. That's right. There we go. Now, what I'm making though is what's called a perfect Manhattan. Tim, you probably know that. What that is. A regular Manhattan is 2 ounces of bourbon or rye or whatever whiskey you want, and usually then an ounce of sweet vermouth. But to me, that's always a little sweet. So what you do is instead of 1 ounce of sweet vermouth, you do a ½ ounce of sweet vermouth and a ½ ounce of dry vermouth. And then into that, you put a little bit of Angostura bitters and some cocktail cherries, and it's going to be great. So
I should say, Paul has a book out where you can read all of the secrets.
Thank you so much.
Right now.
It's called Cocktail Time, the ultimate guide to grown-up fun, and it's lots of fun. There's 125 recipes in here, but it's all about how to set up your bar, how to throw a cocktail party, like in a good way, and all kinds of rules about that. Here, I'll quiz you guys on this.
Oh, boy.
If you're having a cocktail party, do you have to serve food?
Depends what time it's at.
No, wrong. Yes, you must. Unless you are a monster, you will not serve food at a cocktail party. Even if people aren't mad at you on that day, the day after, they're gonna be so pissed at you because they're gonna have the worst hangover. So,
I think every party should serve. Unless it's a late night party and assuming that everyone has eaten.
Yep.
The not feeding people thing, I don't understand.
No, that's bad.
Bites.
That's bad. Bad news.
So this is very good. This
Yeah.
is a taco. This is, let's see which taco this is from.
Jack in the Box.
This is a Jack in the Box taco. Twist. This is the deep fried taco.
Yes.
Apparently.
Yes.
Wow.
Now, what makes it deep fried? Obviously, they put it in a deep fryer, but like I don't think
doesn't
it's
look
not
terribly
it's
deep
not
fried.
fried on the inside.
No, this looks.
I feel like they
Stale.
stuff it with the meat and then they fry it with the tortilla and everything, and then they open it up afterwards and they put like the lettuce in there. So it has like this like sort of freshness with it, but it also like the lettuce wilts a little bit. It's very unique taco. Like you go and get a taco, this is not like Jack in the Box is like that's their thing. This is like I don't think you can find this anywhere else other than Jack in the Box, or I mean it's sort of based off of like a Mexican taco where you're like doing it directly on the griddle.
Yeah.
You know, or the comal, and you're kind of like getting it nice and crispy and stuff like that. But this is a sort of fast food version, deep fried. If you go to Taco Bell, or if you go to Jack in the Box, I feel like you have to go to the Jack in the Box taco.
Wow.
This is like quintessential Jack in the Box to me.
I think what's interesting about it is it doesn't fall apart. It's almost like to me it tastes like a hybrid of a taco, a chimichanga, and a quesadilla.
Yeah.
So that's interesting, right? It's not falling apart. However, it's so different from what you get at like a taco truck here.
Mm-hmm. It's crispy.
Very
It's
good.
chewy.
It's very good.
May I interject?
Please,
Cocktail
please.
making note.
Please.
Sure, why not? The proper way to shake a cocktail. Now, if you go to a lot of bars, bartenders seem to pride themselves on shaking like they're trying to kill a rat inside of a can, and that's fine. But the proper way to shake it, to do a cocktail shaker, is you roll it so that the liquid and the ice hit all 4 corners. So you just do that.
Oh.
So I hate a shaken martini because if you do this, it's fine. But they go bam, 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 like that, then it comes out white, cloudy. Ice chips on top.
Short device, yeah.
Now, James Bond used to say he wanted shaken, not stirred. Do you know why that was? I actually had this finally, it was confirmed to me. It was my belief for years, but somebody confirmed it to me.
Why?
Because he's a super spy, and if you shake it up, you have all this ice and water on top. So he could drink it and not get incapacitated and still take down the bad guys. So if you're chasing bad guys, shake the shit out of it. There you go.
Little dilution.
There you go. Now, and I don't. I'm kind of out of my cocktail glasses, so I'm going to do these in a
Great.
tumbler. But don't do this at home.
What I find also, Paul, what I find interesting is you're a very, very busy person, but you have time for this whole other life and
To
passion
drink.
to
To
drink
drink, exactly.
and make cocktails. Where do you find the time?
You know what? It's just I like to work towards a reward at the end of each day. Whenever I shoot any of my movies, we do French hours, which I know some people here say is a dirty word, but we actually stick to French hours. We do the 10 hours. Food that's passed around. At the end of 10 hours, you drop the cameras, drop the equipment, and you go home. And everybody has a normal life. You don't crash your cars on the way home unless you're a terrible driver, because normally with these 18-hour days, it's terrible. It's just not a human kind of way to work. So that's how I do it. But it's all about the reward at the end of the day, because we're adults, right? And that's what I love about cocktails. I never wanted to be a kid. That's why I don't have kids. When I was a kid, because I don't know. I loved adult life, and I remember one of my earliest memories was being taken to a Muhammad Ali fight in Vegas. Not me, my parents went, and I was about 5 or 6, and they put me in the nursery at this casino, and it was behind this glass door, and I'm at the glass door, and it looked down to the casino floor, and it was all people in tuxedos and gowns, and they're drinking martinis, and they're smoking cigarettes, and I was like, God is my witness, that will be me. I don't want to be a kid, and so here we are. making cocktails on a Sunday afternoon, barely afternoon.
When did you start wearing the suits?
I started wearing suits as a kid. When I was a kid, I was a big Marx Brothers fanatic, and Groucho Marx, in a biography I read, said he never trusted a man who didn't dress well. And I thought, well, I've got to dress so the Groucho will like me, even though he's dead at that moment. And I just never kind of went back. And I also look terrible in casual clothes, so. There we go. Now here's 3 Manhattans, not properly served,
gosh.
but properly delicious.
Would you like some Taco Bell Jack in the Box taco trivia?
Yeah,
Oh my
please,
God,
we'll take
yes.
Jack in the Box taco trivia. Give it to us.
Cheers.
Okay, to my knowledge, it is the only national taco that contains a slice of cheese and not shredded cheese.
Oh,
That's
Yes, they also make 2 types of tacos, now 3. They always had the traditional taco, which is sold in pairs. You cannot buy an individual taco. You have to buy 2. They also have the monster taco, which you would think would be good, but is not. And now they have the mini tacos.
Tiny tacos.
Oh, tiny tacos. I'm not a stoner, so I don't know that much about those. But at one point of time, Jack in the Box was purchased by Ralston Purina.
Oh, Jesus.
And they had the Ralston Purina logo on the taco bag, leading to the rumor that it was dog food. But it isn't. It's the tastiest taco known to man. And the proper way to order one, extra slice of cheese. The balance is perfect with 2 slices.
Do you think, is that a workflow thing that's just easier to throw a slice of cheese on versus shredded, or
That's deep.
Is it choice?
It's just like that's
I don't wanna
so
take us too deep,
American
but-
to throw a slice of cheese on something.
Yeah, exactly.
Anytime you alter your order at a fast food restaurant, you're gonna get a fresh.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
that's a key thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that blows my mind.
Yes. 2 pieces of cheese. Oh, I gotta make it again. Give you a fresh one.
Now, when you say fresh,
Define fresh.
what do you? Because what is the fundamental difference between fast food and not fast food? Like, what are the differences? I kind of think I know, but I might not.
I mean, fast food is something that you should be able to eat in your car, to me. Right? Like, it's something you're going through the drive-thru,
Sure.
eat in your car. Yes, you can have it there, whatever, but like fast food is kind of that drive-through moment for me. And so I think it doesn't always get better with age.
So what's the difference between a slice of Pizza Hut and a slice of New York pizza? No, obviously there are many differences, but like ingredient-wise, preservation-wise, what are we talking about?
I mean, the dough's gonna be different, right? The New York slice is gonna have to be like, it's meant to be like cooked and then reheated. Like that's like the key, and so it's designed to do that. And Pizza Hut pizza, I feel like is like on par with that, right? Like you could have it cold, you could have it hot, and that's the key thing too, is the fact that you can have the pizza cold. I prefer cold pizza over hot pizza on a normal kind of slice.
I've never been able to eat cold pizza.
Really?
Yeah, I just don't. For some reason, it feels wrong.
Cold fried chicken, cold pizza.
Cold fried chicken. I'll go with you on that.
So when you work at a fast food restaurant, you're defrosting from frozen, correct?
Yeah, usually it's like commissary batched and then, you know, cooked in like sort of these small. It's all pre-done.
What are the main? I guess what is one example of an ingredient that you would find in fast food that you wouldn't find in non-fast food?
One ingredient. That's a good question.
Lard.
Or is it just? Are we talking like it's sodium levels? It's as someone who elevates fast food.
I would say it's more manufactured, in the sense of like, you know, you're gonna go grab a bag of chips from your cupboard or Ritz crackers or whatever it is. It's like you look at the list of ingredients and it's like a longer list. They have to worry about like stability, like mass, you know, like pricing, all of that kind of stuff. So I feel like it's sort of you know, infused with a lot of different ingredients that maybe you don't want to consume.
Like there's more. It's like preservatives in them.
Yes.
Can I throw chips and salsa into the mix in this
Yeah.
discussion? Just
Yeah.
because that I'm as fanatical as I am about pizza, that is my jam.
Oh.
And I kind of live in London a lot now. My last 3 movies there, and you can find Mexican restaurants, but what they cannot figure out is salsa. They cannot figure it out. It's like, you know, whipped pear, or it's always some weird ass thing. And that's the key. That's why our Mexican food is so great here in LA.
Yeah.
It's just great food, but then the salsa, we just get salsa right.
Yeah, you judge the tacos not on like the taco itself. It's really about the salsa. So if I go and I order tacos at a place, it's like really the sauces that they're pairing with that taco. Because at the end of the day, it's like, yes, you have a good tortilla. Yes, you have good meat. A little bit of garnish, maybe onion, cilantro, whatever it is. But after that, it's like what you're adding onto it. The sauce is the key.
So when you're making things at Chain, obviously Chain is known for almost kind of elevated fast food, I would say, right? What is that? Walk me through what that means. Is it adding ingredients that have to be fresh that you wouldn't have at a fast food restaurant? What are you looking at?
Looking at higher quality ingredients for sure, and we're looking at like focusing on the flavor of everything more.
Okay.
So, like if you have this ranch here and you have our ranch, it's like literally nothing to do with each other. In the sense of like our ranch is, I'm not joking, that much better.
Yeah.
It's like insanely good. And this is like, you know, it's probably like baked dairy product in there and stuff like that. We're using like real buttermilk and like, you know, real ingredients, fresh herbs inside of it. All of these things that kind of like really gives it like a good like lift and like, you know, creates a better sauce.
Well, Tim, walk me through. What is in ranch dressing?
Ranch dressing so far.
If everyone wants to bite it.
Come on up.
This is great. This is the
Ranch is gonna be buttermilk. And then you're gonna have, for me, I put a little bit of cumin and coriander in there, and then chopped dill, chopped scallions, just the white part of the scallion.
Wow.
And you're emulsifying it with
Oh,
like a little bit of oil in there.
Right.
Oil.
But is that in the manufactured? Are those cumin and those flavor profiles in there too?
I mean, they say
You okay,
they
Rachel?
use like herbs and they see herbs and spices. They don't really like pick them out, you know. So
Could be salt and pepper for all we know.
yeah, exactly. But there's definitely herbs and spices in there, but not like you're not tasting it. It's really like for me, the texture, it's the mouthfeel. It's like the sort of like this tastes like fake. Fake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it tastes fake to me. So if you don't put this on your pizza, I don't blame you. But if you put our ranch on your pizza, you might change your mind.
Well, it was like growing up in Michigan, in Detroit. Come on, right? There we go. Yes. I hated mushrooms because they're always those little doorknobs that came out of a can.
Yep.
And the first time I went to like a real Italian restaurant and they like, you know, sauteed real mushrooms with oh my God, hello.
A lot of butter.
Garlic and olive oil. Then you're just like, oh my God, I actually can taste stuff. But I think growing up, like I'm 61, so I'm the old guy up here. But you know, everything came out of a can when I was growing up, and I thought I hated food. And living in Michigan, everything just tasted bland. It was either fried or out of a can. And it's when I moved to LA when I was like 17 years old and had my first Mexican meal in salsa.
Oh my God.
It's like I can taste food. Like this revelation that going from I think I just don't eat food, I don't like food, to like I'm a foodie and I just want to eat all the time was kind of fantastic.
You're like, I just don't love canned food.
Well, that's exactly. I don't like just solid stuff that you can eat.
I mean, we grew up on all the canned vegetables too. So like canned peas was a big one. But for me, like my sister and I still remember like sitting at the table. My dad was like, "Finish your plate before you get up from the table," kind of guy, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, we would take the peas, put them in our mouth, and swallow them like aspirin or something like that, or we'd like hide them in the napkin.
The giant cheek.
Yeah.
Always got accused.
But then
of
you
that.
have like real peas, and it's like they're like sweet. They're like so good.
Well, Brussels sprouts. That was always like Brussels sprouts to me tasted awful when I was growing because they would just boil them, and if we finally roast them, you're like, oh my god, these are fantastic. Or even beets.
Oh yeah.
Like golden beets or whatever, roasted. Everything had to be fucking boiled. My grandmother, oh my god. My dad and my uncle were just like, your grandmother makes the greatest chicken soup. Her chicken soup's the greatest thing in the world. Oh my god. So when you eat it and it's like, what am I eating? There's nothing there. Like it's like water. And she would just boil everything. Every boiled chicken, and there was any flavoring in it whatsoever. And again, go back to well, I guess I just don't like food. This is the greatest soup of all time, and it tastes like nothing to me.
What about the pork chops?
Oh yeah.
The pork chops are like paper thin. And
Oh no,
you're
totally.
Like they
Shake and bake.
Yeah, and it's like could they?
Thank God for
Are
shake
they
and bake.
done yet? Are they done yet? Yeah, man, they're killed. It's dead.
Well, but here's a question.
Oh my
So
God,
I
totally.
find that, I'll challenge having a kid, but even before I had a kid, just having a busy schedule, cooking takes up fucking time, and it's like hard to go to the grocery store, and like it's more expensive. So like, I don't know, what are some recipes as a working dad you really like that are like fast to make, I don't know, easy to shop for, ingredients you might have in the house? Like, what are some of your standbys?
Well, for me, I'm the kind of person that can open a refrigerator and sort of like figure out whatever. Like I can make a meal out of.
You're a
nothing.
professional. You're a professional chef, so yeah.
But like I will say, the one thing about like having kids, like your kids will literally throw the food back at you. Right, like it's like no matter who I cook for my kids all the time, and they will throw the food, knock it off the high chair, like whatever, like they're not gonna eat it, and it could be something that you're like my kids don't eat mashed potatoes. They're like, it's a texture thing. I don't like the texture of mashed potatoes. I'm like, you're not my kid.
But do you know adults that still have problems with texture? And I'm like, grow the fuck.
Yes.
Please. I have because I was such a finicky eater as a kid, but I got over it. So I really have no patience for finicky adult eaters, and I feel bad saying that. But you're like, oh my god, just eat the goddamn thing.
Well, and part of the reason kids are picky eaters, I read, is that they have twice the amount of taste buds that we do, and it's tuned to sweet because you want to have the kid crave breast milk, and that lasts, I think, even into childhood. So it would make sense. Like my daughter, if anything is spicy, it's like you've lit a fire in her mouth. She can't take it, and it's because they literally are more sensitive. So it makes sense. We were all, I think, picky eaters as kids because adult food is not geared for kids. But then a lot of people say, oh, you should just feed the kids adult food, which is really fucking easier said than done, because it's like, try this avocado toast. Fuck you. Okay, fine. Have a fucking French fry then. Give up. But is there any fun? So, for instance, I found a recipe for pancakes, but it's just 1 banana, 1 egg. You mash it up, you put it on the stove, and it's like pancakes, but it's a way that I get her to eat eggs. And it's just bananas and eggs. Is there any other kind of fun parenting hack that you found?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like one of my kids doesn't eat vegetables at all. Like literally at all. But if I can cut up lamb chops and I'm like, oh, slicing, I just cooked a lamb chop with Dijon mustard and a crust on the top, and then I'm cutting it and dicing it for her. By the time I give her the lamb chops, it's and I'm cutting the next one, she's done with it. She's literally stuffing it in her face. But a vegetable, forget about it. So what I do is I'll chop it up super, super small, and I'll cook it down in it. So if you're making spaghetti bolognese or something like that, so a ragu of something, just even grinding it, taking it and putting it through a grinder, and then you have the carrots, the celery, whatever your base is, but you're not looking at a chunk of a carrot or a green bean or something like that.
Hiding it in sauce,
Yes.
so hiding it in ground beef, maybe stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, speaking about cooking, Rachel, I believe you have a very big part on a show that's very based on food.
Yeah, which I didn't know I'd be able to talk about. I'm on. There's this show called Julia on Max. Used to be called HBO. Why did they get rid of HBO? We were all raised with the motto: "It's not TV, it's HBO." No one knows what Max is. Max is a
my
guy I
accountant.
went to school with. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so it's on Max, and it premieres tonight, but I'm on it starting the next episode. So check it out. I don't cook. But it was really cool because on set they had an in-house kitchen. So you would walk by this in-house kitchen, and then if they had extras after cooking for the day, you'd get to eat them.
Oh, nice.
It was very cool.
Like that. Nothing goes to waste on the set of Julia. That's what you're saying.
What?
Nothing goes to waste on the set of Julia.
No, and Sarah Lancashire, who plays Julia, it's one of those things where she's an English actress. She's unbelievable. It's like a magic trick. There's some actors, when they do characters, it's magic. She just becomes Julia Child. It was so cool to watch, and it takes place in the '60s, and so I learned a lot about how you dressed in that period and like period undergarments because it's early '60s. So early '60s, very high necklines because it was a reaction to the low necklines of the '40s and '50s. So as a big busted woman, I like open neck things, and that was not a thing in the early '60s. It was all, for whatever reason, very high necklines, very pointy bras. They tried to give us period appropriate undergarments, which are these, you'd wear a girdle, these very, very high underpants. And the only place that still makes new undergarments in the style of the '60s is this place that makes underwear for Hasidic Jewish women. Because those are the women who need to dress modestly. And I'm sure it's also very conservative Christian women. It's basically those are the women who dress modestly. So it's an underwear that starts here and ends at your knee, basically. That was interesting.
There you go.
And then also what you would do in the '60s. There's so much pressure now to have your hair. I didn't do my own hair for this. I got this done. There's so much pressure to have your hair look good. Before the '70s, what women did, you'd get your hair done once a week, and it was done. It was set for the week, and your only job was to maintain. Yeah. Your only job was to just cover it when you slept. And so I had my hair done like that. I would get it set in curlers, and it would just be poofy, and I didn't have to do anything. And it was actually kind of very freeing as opposed to it being on me and trying to look at TikTok tutorials and be like, how to get mermaid waves. Like, no one can do that shit.
But could you sleep? Because my mom, she once a week had the big hairdo, and every night she would wrap it in toilet paper.
Yeah.
And sleep. And I'm like, how can you have to sleep like a corpse? Can you,
No, if you wrap
I'm
it.
like, my hair's all over the place, so clear I'm not like laying like that.
And a lot of women still wrap their hair. If you wrap your hair well, I think you can still sleep on your side, right? It's not, you don't have to sleep. That's like if you just know how to wrap your hair well at night, if you have like a good bonnet.
Yeah, I take like a little bonnet and I put it over the top and I wrap
Yeah,
it.
of course.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Wake up.
Your hair was great. Exactly.
But it was I don't know, it was very interesting. And then my friend is working on a period piece that takes place in the late 1800s, and she said, women have always had lumps that we want to smooth out. It's just that when you had intense shapewear, it would smooth out all those lumps, and so then you weren't as hard on your body.
Yeah.
You weren't as hard on your body for diet and exercise because you had these corsets that actually weren't necessarily laced tight. That was for upper class women, or that was for special events. Every woman would wear some sort of flat corset, but it was actually pretty comfortable. It would just basically give you a flat look, and I think it was in the 20s they started to emphasize, oh, well, no, what if we took away shapewear? But what that did was, and then say, well, then you have to be naturally skinny.
Right.
So suddenly the pressure went from just wear some shapewear, you don't have to think about your body, to now you have to get this boy straight skinny thing, and that's when diet culture started.
Where does Spanx play into this?
Oh, Spanx! I mean, I love it. I'm wearing a Spank right now.
Hey.
It's a girdle. I mean, It is a modern day.
It seems like a more human girdle. Like, I don't know. I don't wear it.
It totally is, and I think it goes to the deeper question of, until we are willing, as a society, to accept the look of the natural lumps that bodies have, unless you have a very specific body type. I mean, like, look, this dress isn't that form-fitting, but, like, I wore a Spank under it because I did a red carpet in there. And I have a lot of issues around how my body looks. And even though I try to be positive about my body, I went from a size 4 to a size 10 in the past 10 years. And like, I don't know, it's hard. I don't know how to solve it. but like, it's not just now that we are self-conscious about our lumps. Women have always tried to smooth out our lumps, and I don't know how we can get to a place where it's just like, yeah, I have lumps, whatever, it's fine. If anyone has the solution,
love yourself.
Let
Love
me know.
yourself. You're all beautiful.
Yeah, I
Come
know.
on. Come on. Yeah,
What?
Therapy.
Therapy, great.
There you go.
But can I tell you something? My therapist is beautiful. She's like absolutely.
That's upsetting.
My therapist is stunning. Her hair is perfect every time. She's blonde. She's super skinny. She's awesome. She's a great therapist, but her hair is absolutely perfect. And then I said to her one day, I said, what do you do for hobbies? She goes, I go free diving with whales. And I was like,
Jesus.
fuck you.
She sounds great.
That's just too much.
No.
Hey Rachel, can I ask you? I loved your show so much.
Thank you.
Your death show. That can you talk us through a little bit about how it came to be?
Sure.
Because I know it started before the pandemic, but then the pandemic features so heavily and significantly and poignantly in the show.
Sure. So this live show that I have, that again I'll probably bring back to LA. It's been going different places. I was working on a live comedy music special in 2018, 2019, and I was excited to film it for a place like Netflix in 2020. And it was my plan after I had my baby, I was gonna do a ton of shows and get ready to film a special. Pandemic happened, and my office quickly became my daughter's playroom. I gave birth in late March 2020, I should say, the night I gave birth, my daughter was in the NICU, which is the neonatal ICU, which was very, very hard. The night I gave birth, I found out that my songwriting partner had COVID, and he died when my daughter was a week old. So it was a horrible, not to bring down the fast food party, it was a horrible time. So I was in my office with her, playing with her when she's 3 months old. There's not much playing, but you watch them. And I had my comedy special outlined on a board with all bullet points. And it all suddenly looks so stupid in light of how horrible the world was, and especially when you bullet out stand-up comedy bits or comedy songs, it's just like these one word where it's just like boogers, farting on Sunday, like it all looks so stupid. And I thought, I can't go back to this show, that would be so stupid. And then I said, I thought, it would be interesting if I tried to do the show, and then, spoiler, if there was an interruption, and it was death. Yeah. So the show, the premise is, I go up and I say, this is a show I was working on in 2019, and now that the world is back to normal, I can finally do it. And there's a heckler in the audience, and it legitimately seems like it's a heckler. It's very uncomfortable, but it's not a heckler, it's death. And it's death being like, you're not being honest, you need to talk about me. So it's a show about kind of coming to terms with grief.
And it's beautiful.
Thank
It's
you.
absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Yep.
Come see it.
Who wants another drink?
Yeah, I know. I'm getting
Another Manhattan?
I'm getting hammered.
Okay,
Great.
Done. You got to go to Bluey.
I'm
Tim
gonna
and
go
I
to
don't.
Bluey
Exactly.
completely drunk. Ooh, now
Are you a sweet person?
Oh yeah, let's do a donut.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's my question about donuts. There are places that are like organic donuts. It's not fast food donuts. It's like healthy donuts, right? But like, what is the difference? Not healthy donuts.
What's
but
the point?
What is the difference between fast food donuts and kind of freshly made sweets? Is it a lack of preservatives? Is it sugar is sugar, right?
Yeah, but it's all like sort of industrialized in the sense of like whatever they're adding in order to keep the same texture, the same sort of flavor, like consistently across like the nation. Dunkin Donuts, right?
Yeah.
Like, but if you're making freshly baked or fried donuts or something like that, you're going to get something in a sort of a more boutique-y spot that is focusing on the ingredients, and they're not necessarily needing to add any other ingredients to sort of make it shelf stable or whatnot.
Right.
I think.
Does someone here work in sustainable donuts? I feel like there was you were pointing. Oh, right there. Look at that. Right there.
Who has an opinion on cronuts? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no, I was going to ask them what they think of Dunkin', but they're busy. Cronuts are great. What do you think of cronuts?
It's sort of putting it's a hat on a hat
That's a
as
no.
far as I'm
That's a
concerned.
no.
Yeah, exactly. I like just a good like frosted with the sprinkles on top. I like a child's donut. Is what I like basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I think the cronuts are like it's a marketing scheme or whatever, and it's really cool. But like, and there's amazing techniques to sort of develop. But at the end of the day, I feel like a donut's a better donut, a regular donut.
I mean, I love fancy stuff. There's some stuff you don't need to fancy it.
Yes.
Leave the donuts alone.
Who here likes cronuts?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh wow.
Honestly, I don't want to shame you.
LA's a real donut town. I mean, like we like our classic big box, you know.
Danny Trejo's got the good donuts.
I'm ready. Krispy Kreme.
What else is there? I mean, there's so much
Krispy
to talk. Anyone have any questions? Great. Yeah, you have a question. Great.
Hi. Is there a specific fast food location you have fond memories of for whatever reason?
Me? Yeah, I have a few personally. I mean, I grew up with my mom. There was five of us kids in the family. My dad worked. My mom raised the kids. My mom made like my school lunches all the way until I graduated high school. Like cooked like I grew up on a lot of home cooked meals. So for me, like going to fast food restaurant was an experience. It was like we didn't get to do it very often. So like it was McDonald's was like the number one because that was like going to the playground, playing around, like having the Happy Meal, that whole sort of experience. Taco Bell is one that I just like from a flavor standpoint. Like I love Mexican food, so I know it's not like quintessential Mexican food, but
it'll pass.
For what it is. And then if it was like going to like Sizzler and or like even like the old school, I think what was it, Wendy's with the salad bar and stuff like that. And you go and you get to pick all the sunflower seeds on top.
The Frosty, come on,
yeah,
give it up for Frosty.
So those are mine, and my memories of them like are always around like sort of mostly around like celebrating. So celebrating a birthday with a family member or celebrating like, being able to go out and hang out. And I think that's what food really is. It's like about that community, about that celebration. So that's mine.
I have a pretty opposite of sweet memory, which is we would go to McDonald's quite a lot, and I loved the play place. Mm-hmm. We were at McDonald's one time as a kid, and my dad went to adjust his chair, and he goes, ah! And he brings up his hand, it's covered in blood. And the chair was like, had a sharp bit, and he had to go to the hospital and get stitches. I think he looked into suing, and then he was like, I don't care enough.
For me, it was Wendy's. When Wendy's opened up, because we always had McDonald's, which I thought was good, but Wendy's was like, oh my God, because it had thicker burgers and they felt like they were sort of homemade.
Yeah, they do like the 4-corner press.
Oh no, totally.
Where they have that square patty. Yeah.
But then Arby's, but there is. I'm old enough to remember. People my age all go, oh, Arby's used to be. They always acted out. They would slice the beef off. They never fucking sliced the beef off. It was always a beef. I know. It was always that loaf. But I like that whatever that beef loaf is. And oh my God, an Arby's with that the barbecue sauce.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
Oh yeah. Are you guys the kind of like people that go to a restaurant and order the same thing every time or no?
No, I like to experiment.
Yeah, so if you go to a fast food restaurant, you're getting something different every time you go there.
Oh, fast food. That's
No, fast food, I order the same thing.
Same thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just like the thing I like the most is just getting a normal McDonald's hamburger, like two just normal. Those I don't know. You get the right amount of meat, and bun.
My husband grew up eating kosher, and was told by his parents, like, oh yeah, no, if you go to McDonald's and you just order just cheese on a bun, it's the same. It tastes the same. Yeah. So that's what he did, and then he was like, oh wait, I hate this. Never mind, I'm gonna stop eating kosher. And the first time he ate a McDonald's cheeseburger, he's like, this is completely different. Well, they were liars. What are they talking about? That's insane.
In-N-Out protein style, anybody?
Yes, for sure.
Oh my God, that's because it almost feels like you're being healthy.
And then you had a question.
Yes. Hi. I love you, and you don't have to say it back. It's okay.
But she does.
Thank
Yes.
you for taking the pressure off me.
Yes. My name is CJ, and I just want to say, like, I admire you so much. As a writer myself, like, I think you're so creative and so funny and so
Thank you.
awesome. I love your book. I have it in my bag right now.
you.
If-
Oh, that
and
means
I also
so
have a pen if you wanted to, like,
I will
find me
absolutely
later.
sign it.
And, you know.
It's delight. I love signing books in person because my book came out in November 2020, so I never got to do a live book event, and so I love signing it because it didn't feel real. Like I had a book come out, but I didn't really see people, so that's very cool. Thank
Well,
you.
I'm happy to help. But I thank you for everything you shared too about your special, and like I think what would be really inspirational for me, and I'm sure for a lot of us, is if you wouldn't mind giving like a improv, like slam poetry, haiku. I can give you a beat. You can freestyle rap, something just about maybe fast food or your dreams or your life or me.
Have you tried the fries?
I mean, listen, I'm no Lin-Manuel Miranda here.
We
but,
need an occupation.
I mean,
we need a setting.
I'm pretty drunk, so sure.
Do you want me to give you a beat, or do you want to just do it freestyle? Will the beat help you, or will it hold you back?
I would say like a melodic beat, like
Okay.
like don't do like doom, like not
Okay.
that, but
Okay.
like
I'll just match. You can start, and I'll match the vibe.
I love this. Okay, we have 2 minutes. So wait, we have 2 more minutes. This is, I think, how we're gonna end this event.
I'm not topping this, man.
So feel free to chime in this. Okay, sure. I love this. Great. I'm really drunk, so.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, I like it. A little loud. A little loud. Cheese. Cheese on carbs. What is it about cheese on carbs?
What is it about?
Is it embedded in our DNA to like cheese on carbs? Is it to protect us from the cold, cold winters? My body's meant to be in Poland. And because my body's meant to be in Poland, does it just want cheese on carbs? But my body's not in Poland.
No, it's not. No, it's
My body's in Los Angeles. I shouldn't be in Los Angeles. I should be in Poland. My body wants to be a big fat lady in Poland. Spitting out 30 babies. In the cold. And the only way I can survive through giving birth to 30 babies, and for those 30 babies to survive, is to give them cheese on carbs.
Thank you for letting me be a part of that.
And that was actually about mental health.
Thank you.
Please give.
We have so much extra food. I feel like you all can just take up and eat. Come up here and eat the
flies
food,
on
right?
it,
I mean, germs still exist, so use your own.
There's a whole box of munchkins.
There's so much. We haven't touched these. Like, we didn't touch those. Like, please.
A lot of donuts.
There's a shitload of donuts.
So many donuts.
They look so good.
If anyone wants to steal my DNA from this burger and like clone me, I guess you're free to do that. Anything else we should? Yeah, great.
Yeah, man. Nice.
It's like, are you gonna drink that?
Don't be shy.
To end, where can we? Check out Julia. It's on Max.
Yep.
And if you're in New York, my show is playing at the Orpheum Theater in New York, December 7th through January 6th, I believe. Because January 6th is obviously my favorite holiday. It was the day we almost got our country back, obviously.
Waited to the end.
Shout out to my homies. No, I'm really kidding. To be clear.
J6, exactly.
What should we patronize of yours? I'm so drunk.
You should go to Odeum downtown. You should come here for Chain Fest. Follow Chain on Instagram. You should check out Jimmy Fallon Show on Wednesday. I'm going to be on it representing Chain.
Nice.
A lot of cool things. So this is going to be actually where the festival is held. So if you guys don't have tickets, we don't have that many.
Sweet.
Maybe we're sold out, but
get in there. You know the guy.
Anyways.
Nice.
Paul, what can we check out of yours?
Cocktail Time, the ultimate guide to grown-up fun, is on sale in bookstores anywhere near you. Arting Stall's Gin is available at a liquor store near you. Go to the Flask, and Duvan has it. And also, if you want to check out a project that Rachel and I did together, The School for Good and Evil is on Netflix now. So Rachel was kind enough to lend her talents to that.
It was a very wonderful set. It was so fun.
Yes.
Thanks for coming out. I hope you learned a lot about how the education system works, and fast food, and the history of tacos, and my personal DNA. Yeah.
Please have some donuts.
Please have some
donuts.
This is completely unopened.
Couple coffees.
There you go.
I'm gonna be so drunk at Bluey.
Yeah, good.